Hello students, now we start with the next division, that is angiosperm. Now angiosperms include flowering plants. They include flowering plants. And when we talk about the syllabus of NEET, in NEET syllabus we study about this flowering plant many times. Okay, so they have a flower. Okay, when we talk about the flower, in flower they have a reproductive wall, and this reproductive wall are androecium and gynoecium. Androecium is known as group of stamen and gynoecium is known as group of carpel. Now then in this, if you see the carpel, then carpel has ovary and ovary has ovule. So this ovary form a fruit and this ovule forms seed. Means ovary wall is a forming a pericarp and the whole fruit is formed. Okay. Now in this there are two classes, that is dicotyledonnae and monocotyledonnae. Dicotyledonnae have two cotyledon and monocotyledonnae have single cotyledon. Now please remember, androecium is a male reproductive sex organ and gynoecium is a female reproductive sex organ. Okay, so this is the some of the general characteristic, that these have a flower, they have a male reproductive, female reproductive structure, they form a fruit, they form a flower, they have a seed. But how this all things is formed, that is understood by the life cycle, that can be understood by the life cycle. So when we talk about the life cycle, next topic which we are going to discuss, that is a life cycle of angiosperms. Next to talk about a life cycle of angiosperm. And angiosperm are the flowering plant. As you can see here, this is a structure of flower and flower is a diploid, so we can consider it is a sporophyte. Okay, now this sporophyte has both the things, carpel and stamen. That is, a carpel is a female reproductive organ and the stamen is a male reproductive organ. Now first we talk about the what occur in case of carpel, that is in case of female, and then we will discuss about the stamen. Now carpel is made up of stigma, style and ovary. Ovary has a ovule, and in ovule if you see, ovule look like this. This is the micropyle end, this is the chalazal end, in between you have a nucellus, these are the integuments. Okay, now centrally nucellus cells are filled and this nucellus is diploid. Now one of the nucellus cell become megaspore mother cell, it become a megaspore mother cell. Now this megaspore mother cell undergo meiosis. It will undergo meiosis, and when it undergo a meiosis, here you can see that form of 4 megaspore, and out of 4 megaspore in case of female part that are produced by the meiosis, 3 degenerate and 1 survive. So ultimately at last 1 megaspore is going to survive, which is a haploid. We remember there are 4 megaspore and 1 is survived while after a degeneration of 3. Now when we see this 1 megaspore, this megaspore grow in a cytoplasm and it elongates, and this megaspore has a one nucleus which is haploid, and this is a megaspore cell. Now in megaspore cell, first karyokinesis occurs. Cytokinesis is not occurring, only karyokinesis occur, nucleus division occur. So this one nucleus undergo nucleus division and it will divide into the 2. This 2 nucleus will reach to the opposite pole. After reaching opposite pole, they undergo karyokinesis. This is nucleus division twice. So if twice nuclear division occur, these 2 nucleus become 4 and 4 become 8. So 8 nucleus are there, 4 are at this end and 4 are at this end. Out of this 4 nuclei at the opposite end, 1 nuclei reach to the center, and there are 2 nuclei at the center, 3 nuclei at this part, and 3 nuclei at this part. And at last, after this 3 karyokinases, cytokinesis, that is cytoplasm division, occur, and after cytokinesis you will find a formation of this part, and that is nothing but a embryo sac. That is embryo sac. In this embryo sac, you will find at this micropyle end there is a 2 synergid and 1 egg cell. Okay, 2 synergid and 1 egg cell. In center, 2 polar nuclei are present in the central cell, and at chalaza end these 3 antipodals are found. This is known as what? Chalaza end. Now antipodals are haploid, polar nuclei are haploid, and plus NV writing, synergid are haploid, and egg cell is also haploid. Now after that, this polar nuclei fuse and they form a secondary nucleus. So secondary nucleus become diploid. So this is the part up to which we have discussed with the female part. Be remember, now we have discussed embryo sac, and in embryo sac secondary nucleus and egg cell has produced. Now what will happen to the male part? When we talk about the male part, that is stamen, in stamen anther is there. Anther has a pollen sac, and pollen sac are known as microsporangium. In microsporangium, there is a pollen mother cell which is diploid. That pollen mother cell undergo meiosis and produce a pollen grain or microspore. Now when we see the structure of this microspore or pollen grain, in these 2 male gametes are there and 1 vegetative cell is there. Out of these 2 male gamete, one male gamete fuse with the secondary nucleus and form a primary endosperm nucleus. What it will form? Primary is formed by the fusion of 1 male gamete and secondary nucleus, which is formed by the fusion of polar nuclei. Ultimately it forms a primary endosperm nucleus, and that primary endosperm nucleus will form endosperm. Similarly happened with the second male gamete, which fuse with the egg cell and form zygote. Okay, so this is a zygote and this is a endosperm. Now this zygote and endosperm are produced formed within the seed. Now this zygote will form embryo and endosperm will consume. This embryo will form a sporophyte. So this seed will germinate in form of sporophyte again, and life cycle will get complete. Okay, so be remember in this, the structures which are present before meiosis, they all are diploid, and after meiosis they all are haploid. So look at this complete life cycle and you come to know that in this whole process is occurring in a proper way. Okay, so you can see here, please see this diagram properly. You can get a whole idea of the life cycle which we have discussed now. So now by seeing the life cycle, we come to know that there is double fertilization occur in case of angiosperm. Now this double fertilization, include 2 things. One is syngamy and one is triple fusion. Now what is occurring in case of syngamy? As if you can see, in a syngamy, 1 male gamete fuses with the female gamete, that is egg cell, and by fusion of this there is a formation of zygote. So fusion of male gamete and female gamete is known as syngamy and zygote is formed. Now second fertilization occur between secondary nucleus, which is formed by fusion of 2 polar nuclei and another male gamete. So by fusion of this there is a formation of PEN, that is primary endosperm nucleus, and the ploidy of this primary nuclear endosperm nucleus become 3n because secondary nucleus is 2n and egg is haploid. Here also this is haploid, so zygote become diploid. But primary endosperm nucleus become triploid and this primary endosperm nucleus will form endosperm. So endosperm in angiosperm are triploid of angiosperm are triploid because it form after fertilization. So this is all about angiosperm. Now we are coming to the last topic, that is and plant life cycle and alternation of generation. So plant life cycle are of three types, that is a haplontic, diplontic and haplodiplontic. So first we talk about haplontic life cycle. Now if you draw the haplontic life cycle, you will see that what happens in case of they have a dominant phase, that is gametophyte and this is haploid. Now this gametophyte have a sex organ, so it undergo a gametogenesis. Gametogenesis, that is production of gamete, and gamete are produced. Now this gamete are fused and syngamy will occur. So syngamy is fusion of gamete and gametogenesis is the formation of gamete. So gametophyte will produce a gamete, that gamete will fuse. Now after fusion they will form a zygote. Then zygote will undergo a meiosis. And when it undergo meiosis, it will produce a spore. Okay, and this spore will undergo germination and form again gametophyte. Now if we see in case of this, the zygote is the only structure which is diploid in case of this, otherwise all the structures which are here that are haploid. So majority of stages are haploid, only zygote is particularly diploid. So because of this it is known as haplontic life cycle. And in this meiosis of zygote occurs, so haplontic life cycle can also be called as zygotic meiosis. What we call zygotic meiosis. Now in this haplontic life cycle, what is observed that sporophyte or sporophytic generation is represented by single celled zygote. Okay, that is a zygote is formed. There is a no free living sporophyte. Means zygote is not a free living. Okay, next to that, meiosis and zygote result in the formation of haploid spore. So that we have just studied, zygotic meiosis is happening and spore is produced. Haploid spore divide mitotically and form a gametophyte. You are seeing that is a spore germination is a division of this one, and the dominant photosynthetic phase in such plant is gametophyte. So free living gametophyte is dominant phase Okay, and this dominant phase is photosynthetic, so they can carry out their survival, and the sporophyte which is don't present on this. Now if we see the example in which this life cycle is found, then examples are many algae such as Volvox, Spirogyra, and some species of Chlamydomonas, that all represent this life cycle and they have a haplontic life cycle. Now after haplontic life cycle we talk about the diplontic life cycle. Next we talk about diplontic life cycle. Now when we draw a diagram of diplontic life cycle, in diplontic life cycle sporophyte is dominant. Okay, now this sporophyte have a spore mother cell, and that spore mother cell undergo meiosis. So by meiosis what happens, there is a formation of spore that is haploid. Now this spore will germinate and form gametophyte, and this gametophyte is haploid. Now this gametophyte undergo gametogenesis, and produce a gamete. Now this gamete will fuse, syngamy will occur, and zygote will form. This zygote undergo a mitosis, it will form embryo, and this embryo will form a sporophyte. So in case of this, what is happening specifically, this gametophyte and gametes which are produced are haploid, and the spore which is produced is haploid. But be remember, this spore are produced but other all phases are diploid, so the life cycle become diplontic. And this diplontic life cycle, if we see, sporophyte is dominant, photosynthetic, independent phase of plant. Whereas if we talk about gametophyte, then gametophyte is single or fused. Single to fused. Okay, and this gametophyte is haploid. But in case of angiosperm, there are two gametophyte. One is male gametophyte, which is commonly known as pollen grain, and female gametophyte, which is commonly known as embryo sac. So this is the part of diplontic life cycle. Now if we see an example in case of diplontic life cycle, then it is a fucus, that is a brown algae, and all gymnosperms and angiosperms are the example of this diplontic life cycle. Next we talk about the third type of life cycle, that is haplodiplontic life cycle. In haplodiploidy, haploid and diploid phases are somewhat equivalent. In this also, sporophyte can be dominant or gametophyte can be dominant. Okay, sporophyte undergo meiosis, that is spore mother cell undergo meiosis and produce spore. This spore undergo germination and produce gametophyte. This gametophyte undergo gametogenesis and gametes are produced. These gametes undergo a syngamy and zygote will form. This zygote will form again sporophyte. Now if we see in this case, then this is a diploid part and this is a haploid part. Both are somewhat equally, half time is covering. So this is a haplodiploidic life cycle in which sporic meiosis is occurring. Now, then after, if we talk about the example, this particular haplodiploidic life cycle is found in case of bryophytes and pteridophytes. And we have studied about bryophytes and pteridophytes life cycle in detail, and we have studied that they exhibit this intermittent type. Both phases are multicellular, however they differ in their dominant phases. When we talk about a bryophyte, in case of bryophyte, we know that the dominant independent phase, thalloid or erect phase, is represented by haploid gametophyte. So in bryophyte, gametophyte is dominant independent photosynthetic thalloid or erect phase. Whereas in pteridophyte, now in bryophyte, one more point we should understand, that in a bryophyte, short-lived multicellular sporophyte is totally or partially depend on gametophyte. Okay. Now in case of pteridophyte, sporophyte which is diploid, that sporophyte is a dominant independent photosynthetic vascular plant body. Whereas if we talk about gametophyte, then multicellular sporophytic or autotrophic independent but short-lived gametophyte is found. Now if we talk about this characteristic, then in bryophyte the gametophyte is dominant, in pteridophyte sporophyte is dominant. Now examples of haplodiploidic life cycle include Ectocarpus, Polysiphonia and kelps. These are the algae which are haplodiploidic. So this is all about the life cycle, and that is all about the chapter plant kingdom.